Hi Talk to Me Tuesdayers, it is Tuesday, June the 17th, and this is Liza. June happens to be my 1-year anniversary for Talk to Me Tuesday, which is really exciting. It actually was probably around the 4th or 5th that I made my first video last year. It was June 4th or 5th, I don't remember which. Somewhere along in there. Doesn't really matter, but it's really exciting that I've been doing this for a year. You guys have been so supportive for this year. And it's so exciting that I've stuck with this for a year, because for me, I get, I tell people I kind of have crafty ADD. I get bored with things very quickly, so I move on and do a new craft and such. I'm glad my crafty ADD didn't kick in with Talk to Me Tuesday. Sorry it's been a little while since I've posted a video though. I've had a ton going on. Everything from the end of last month, the beginning of this month, I ended up going home to visit my family for a little while, which was great, my friends and family, and seeing them was awesome, but at the same time, it was very stressful. Sometimes family can do that to you. So at the same time, it was a little bit stressful. But I'm glad I did it. Unfortunately, there's a small chance that at the end of this year, I'll need to move back home with my family for a short period of time. Financially, remaining in Colorado without full-time employment has taken its toll, and I'm running out of financial options to remain here. Denver, Colorado is not a very cheap place to live. The cost of living here is very high. So unfortunately, I may have to move home, so I needed to get some things in order in case that has to happen. But a lot can happen between now and January, when my lease expires and when I would need to move home. So I'm going to remain positive, hope that I don't have to do that, but I needed to prepare in case I did have to do that. When I got home, I started doing with my other business, Wild Tree, which is a gourmet food business, started going to a local farmer's market. The farmer's market started on the 3rd, and so as soon as I got home, jumped right in head first into that farmer's market. That's every Tuesday afternoon, so I'm making this video as fast as I can, hopefully in one take, so that I don't have to edit out a whole lot, and just upload it straight to YouTube, because I've missed making videos for you guys, but finding time has been crazy, even on other days than Tuesdays. I just have a lot going on right now. The other thing that I wanted to share with you guys personally before I jump into the craft stuff is, and the other reason I haven't been making videos, is because I had a very stressful situation that's been going on for approximately 3 years now. I can't talk about what it is, I can't talk about what it was, what it meant, any of that, but praise the Lord, it is out of my life now. That very stressful situation, although there would be periods of time where it wasn't a big deal, there would also be periods of time for about 3 weeks that it would really, really mess up my life. Scheduling would be a wreck, and I would be highly stressed. I was to the point where one of the reasons I went home was because this was one of those 3-week, 4-week periods where it was very stressful in my life, and I was actually having panic attacks pretty regularly because of this situation. But it is now over and out of my life, and I don't have to worry about it anymore. After 3 years, it's finally done. And this means a whole lot for me. Not only does it mean less stress in my life, but it also means things like this particular situation has prevented me from getting some jobs and remaining in some permanent jobs. So now maybe I can move on with my life and get some stable work in my life, get other areas of my life in order that haven't been able to be in order because of this situation. So that was a huge thank you God moment in my life when I got the news that that was over. So as you can hear, the past few weeks have been kind of crazy for me, but between going home and everything else going on in my life, I have done a lot of crafting. You can see one of the things behind me right now. I'll come over here so you guys can see it. I made, this is a paper piecing pattern that I made. It's a star, well, it's kind of a star pattern. The woman who placed this as a special order had seen the stole that I made for my mother some time ago. That was the cathedral window. And she really wanted a cathedral window quilt. And when I explained to her how long just the stole took me to make, the cost I would have to charge for it because of it, how long it would take to make it, as well as it would be very heavy, even just a small couch-sized quilt or whatever, explaining to her that it's all fabric folded in on itself and everything, and that makes it very heavy. We decided not to go that route. I said I'd be more than happy to add a little bit of a cathedral window, like a stripe of cathedral window in with the quilt or whatever, but I wasn't going to do a whole quilt of that for her. Primarily because I didn't want to spend a year doing it. So we talked it through, and she decided she really liked this pieced pattern that gave the look, the art look of the cathedral window, but it wasn't the cathedral window. So she really loved this, and I haven't quite figured out how I'm going to do the quilting yet on it. I think I probably want to try in these little blocks to do some kind of free motion quilting, but it's a matter of finding something within my skill level and something that will look good in there, finding that happy medium with those two. So we'll see what I actually end up doing. But anyways, so I've done that. I've also done a picnic tote, a dumpling pouch, and yesterday I did this little drawstring pouch. And the picnic tote and the dumpling pouch have already been sent to their new owners. So I don't have those to show anymore. But I'll insert pictures of them here. And those were the picnic tote, which is basically just a large insulated lunch bag. It's just a little bit larger than normal insulated lunch bags are. Was for my Facebook giveaway winner. She's very patiently waited for this. I think I did this giveaway back in February or March. And she's been very patient waiting for it because I've had some special orders I needed to get done before I could get around to that. But she contacted me and said, I want something that's kind of pink and brown, and I want it to be able to hold a couple sandwiches and a couple water bottles so me and my sons can go out to the park and have lunch. So I made it more like a purse size insulated bag, and she loves it. And I also used, my new sewing machine has some letters that you can stitch. It'll stitch letters for you. So I decided to kind of try that out on the machine, and I stitched her name into the accent block on the tote, and it looks really good. I like the stitching. I like that it can stitch letters so I can add names to things. It didn't quite line it up correctly though. So because I made it on 2 lines, her last name is straight, but her first name's a little crooked. So that bothered me a little, but at the same time it was more of a hassle to pull everything out, and for a free giveaway, it wasn't as noticeable enough that I was going to take the time to pull it out and make it perfect. Which sounds horrible, but it was a free bag for her, so I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on it. Sorry. But so I did that, and I really like the way that that turned out. This little guy, this drawstring pouch and the dumpling pouch, I made for people at the beginning of the year on Facebook. I did a little posting on my personal Facebook page that was, if you want a handmade gift from me at some point in time this year, let me know. I'll surprise you with a handmade gift at some point in time in 2014. And so The dumpling pouch went to one of my friends who did that for her birthday. So I filled it with all kinds of goodies for her birthday. And then this one is getting ready to go out to another one of my friends. It's not for any occasion specific, it's just because. But you can see it pulls shut and everything, and I have some stuff in there, which is why it's kind of boxy right now. But I'm gathering some stuff to put in there for her. But she was one of my friends when I worked at an insect center. So I found fabric that has insects all over it and butterflies on the inside. So I kind of thought that was perfect. And the ribbon that I used has little ladybugs on it. So little geeky moment there. I also did a painting before I left for Kentucky to visit my family. And I still have that painting, but I actually have it put away right now. It is for sale on my Etsy page, but I didn't really feel like pulling it out because it has like 27 other things in with it, and it would involve moving a whole lot of stuff. So I'll insert a picture of that here. And I did that painting before I left to go to Kentucky to visit my family. I went for kind of a whimsical feel, kind of a Alice in Wonderland, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, that kind of feel to it, because people keep describing my paintings as being whimsical, so I decided why not just go on full-on whimsy. I personally think it didn't turn out whimsical, it turned out like a 6-year-old's art class project. But people disagree with me on that. I'm gonna let people make up their mind. I'm sure at some point in time somebody will purchase it, but as of right now it's still for sale. Like I said, I'm not thrilled with it, but it is what it is. And depending on how it goes, I might gesso over it and repaint it at some point in time. But I'm not going to do that right now. I'm going to wait and see what happens with it, and maybe by the end of the year, if nothing happens with it, I'll gesso over it. But I don't know, not my favorite. And finally, the last thing I have to show you guys today, I'm out of breath. The last thing I have to show you guys today is before I left for Kentucky, I discovered I only have so many pajama pants. I've explained this before, I'm very tall. I'm 6 feet tall. Basically, I'm 5'11" and a half, so it's close enough for me to say I'm 6 feet tall. So it's very hard for me to find things like pajama pants, casual pants, things like that. Things in dress pants and jeans and such I can buy in the talls, and that's fine, they have that. But things like pajama pants and lounge pants and those types of things, they make the same size for everybody, so they normally end up being a little short for me. And although it's not a big deal for something like pajama pants to be short, you want them to fit, you know? Whether people see them or not, you want them to fit. So I actually don't wear a lot of pajama pants because of that, but during the winters and such here, you do need them. And when I was going home to visit my family, I thought it would be appropriate, since I was staying in their home, to be slightly more covered than I would be in my own home. So I needed another pair of pajama pants. Rather than going out and hunting for weeks and weeks trying to find them, which I didn't have, I decided I had some jersey knit that I had found at Joann's on the remnants bin, and I had a pair of pajama pants that I've had forever that are indecent, that shouldn't be worn anymore, but they're comfortable and they fit me, so it's hard for me to get rid of them. So I used them to make a pattern and created my own pajama pants. Now remember, I'm not a seamstress, so these are far from perfect. As a matter of fact, I forgot to add in seam allowance on the bottom. So, rookie mistake when you don't make clothing. So I actually had to add a little bit of fabric to make them long enough. I had a coordinating jersey knit in my stash that I just kind of went, okay, that'll work. I'll add that to the end. But I added an elastic waist to them. I put a little pocket in them because I've mentioned this before. I constantly have my cell phone on me. It's a horrible habit, I know. And I made pajama pants. They are far from perfect. They are, I mean, the stitching is horrible, but really not many people are going to see them. It's not that big of a deal. They don't have to be perfect, but it was a good first attempt at clothing for myself. It's not really the first attempt I've done in clothing. I've done like some costuming and such, but never anything that has to be fitted. Like I've made circle skirts and such for myself, so never anything that has to be like fitted around your legs or has more than like 1 or 2 seams on it. I figured pants would be a good place to start because you really only have a few seams in them. Like I said, they're not perfect, but they meet the need, which is all I really needed. So I was able to take these home with me for when I was visiting my family and not be indecent in front of my family. So I actually think that's everything I have to show today. Oh my gosh. So I hope everybody has been very crafty. I hopefully will find a schedule here soon where I can make videos a little bit more easily. And who knows, this video may be going up late Tuesday night because it's forever and I am going to have to do some editing on it. Otherwise this is going to be like a 20-minute video. Sorry guys. Yeah, so hope everybody's been really crafty. I will see you guys next time I'm able to make a video, and I promise I'll talk slower in that next video. Bye guys!